So here's a crazy thing I was thinking about is what a comeback is and how some people don't even have the expectations of really achieving anything. Like say you're a person who did something and you tried something and you failed and maybe you want to try again, or maybe you consecutively fail. Maybe you fail and 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 you might not succeed for like maybe 5 years down the road. You might get a little bit of tug, you might get a little bit of something, a little bit of magic sparkle, whatever the hell it is you're trying to get, whatever it is you're trying to do, you might be able to get somewhere with that particular thing. And the reality is, things can be very difficult. But that's why we do them. That's why human beings do whatever it is they're going to do, because some things are so hard, you could probably never even really succeed at them, because the height of success that you could achieve is damn near impossible. So basically, you're just grinding your whole life, not even expecting to get anywhere. Eventually, you're going to be in that place where it's like, I do have goals. Like, you can have realistic goals, right? And then you can be some guy trying to make a podcast or some crazy video like this and trying to appeal to people in a certain way. But honestly, the top of the mountain is kind of way over there and you want to be there, but maybe you're not there. Maybe you're never going to get there, but maybe a comeback is possible. But what I'm trying to say is some people just have such a lack of effort, they just don't even try, you know? And so if you think about it, they're probably not going to do anything worth a damn until they realize that they are worth a damn. So as soon as you kind of realize that, hey, I have something and I can do things, then you're not going to do it. But I don't know how deluded the person is who's watching this. Like, who's ever watching this, I don't know how much of a sponge you are. You could just absorb information or not. I don't know how reactive you are. I don't know how interactive your brain is. I don't know how much it'll remember. Like, if you're watching this, you might not even remember it. That's the thing about it. That's the crazy thing about even making anything online is there's so much stuff that goes through the airwaves. There's so much stuff being posted online that is someone might not even remember you down the line. Like, I've watched so much stuff, I don't remember it. It's in my brain, but it becomes so consecutive on a daily day basis of so much how much stuff I watch. And it's so much stuff I've watched, it's like I just can't remember what I can't remember, you know what I mean? But you just can't come back from something you never tried to begin with. And a lot of people won't even try something because, they're scared or whatever. But I'm not trying to give anyone a typical speech here. I'm not trying to tell you now it's time for your comeback, because maybe it's not time for your comeback because you don't have a comeback in mind, which is completely okay. Like me, and that's what I'm saying is there is no comeback for me. There's only push forward and forward and forward and forward until one day everything ends. And so for me, I'm just kind of stuck here doing it whatever the hell it is I want to do and trying to achieve something that's probably impossible. And that's kind of crazy to some people. Like, why would you try to why would you try to succeed at something? The odds are so slim. And so there's so many people that are trying to do a podcast. Your odds are pretty low. Like, you're probably not going to be some big podcast star, dude. I hate to break the news to you. There's just too many people out there, man. Everyone wants to do it. It's like it's like the day that people learned they could bake cookies at home and everybody did it. But then some people actually were able to sell some at the store, right? Like, some people actually had recipes and a name for the cookie that people would actually rather buy, at the store rather than make them at home. Kind of know what I'm getting at? Like, anybody has a brain and can think, but only some people actually pack in some stuff into that cookie cartridge that people really want to consume. But if you really think about it, really what you're giving people is essentially just that. It's pretty much just got the same ingredients as everybody else. It's pretty much just some flavor, some sweetness, some flour, bake it in the oven for a little while. And that's pretty much all you got to do. Is me. I've been baking in the oven forever. Well, I'm still white, but you get what I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm a no bake cookie, you know? I'm a no bake cookie. You don't need to cook me in the sun. Just throw me on the podcast, and people will take a bite out of that chocolate and taste that yumminess, that warmness. Dip me in some milk already, and get the show over with. You kind of get what I'm saying. So really, if you take that back to your comeback, which doesn't exist because you never tried something and you never really took it to a place where it was really anything at all or could be anything, or maybe you just started in your mind but never really went anywhere else than that, then you know it's kind of like you're just baking cookies at home, but you never really wanted to put them on the market. You know what I mean? But I don't know, you kind of get the metaphor that I'm saying. Like, you think of stuff and maybe you dream stuff, but you would never try to do it. And honestly, you're probably right where you need to be, honestly, because you know what? If you're thinking about trying to do what I'm doing here, don't. Just don't. Like, seriously, and some people know that. They're like, "Dude, I'm not even going to do that." Right? But I can sit here and be like, it's kind of a joke that I'm saying don't do it. This is hell. This is suffering. This is pain, you know. But at the same time, you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. And honestly, trying to do something that almost seems impossible to achieve is pretty amazing, you know. But that's the whole thing that goes with it. If you're going to write a song, there's so many songs out there. So many people write songs. So if you're trying to succeed with a song, I mean, you might have to dedicate a lot of time to in achieving the impossible there. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's the way I see it in the long term. Like, I'm not someone who's just gonna be like, one day I'm like, you know what? This isn't really getting anywhere. I don't want to do this anymore. Because it's almost like, even if I succeeded, I wouldn't even have really succeeded. So there really isn't a comeback. But I guess here's what I'm trying to talk about. It's time for your comeback. I'm trying to tie this in a way here for you, because it's time for your comeback, right? And I think the comeback for you, anybody listening to this, is just realizing what the hell is going on. So if you just realize, if you really get it, and you just kind of see us all as people, because we are really all people, and some people are just too weird, to probably exist here comfortably, and arguably some people are so just out of this world that I cannot stand them at all. It's kind of like how you want to punch someone in the face, but you'll never say it, and you wouldn't do it. You probably like if you wanted to actually assault someone, you might not say anything. You know what I mean? Because, hey, like, let's not get violent here or anything, but human beings are naturally violent people. But some people are just so appalling. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm basically trying to be the guy that you don't want to punch in the face. So I'm trying here, but maybe it's just inevitable. Like, you just want to throw me under the bus and make fun of me. Um, I just did a punch in the face joke. I shouldn't have did that. Was it even a joke? No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Uh, but yeah, so it's time for your comeback. I feel like the biggest comeback for anyone is just realizing what the hell is going on. And then there's no comebacks anymore. If you really take that to heart and you really take that to your brain and be like, okay, yeah, you're right, the impossible, and really that kind of appeals to everything too. I mean, what are you trying to achieve with your life, you know? And if you think about like sports and stuff, you can only go so far as your human body physically, what's physically possible for you at that point, right? So it's kind of funny. I guess all you can really achieve physically with your body is what your body will let you do in a day. Um, that's probably the reality there. But yeah, I guess that's probably the only real takeaway here is comebacks don't exist. But I guess if you really want to be a sane person, then you would probably say, yeah, okay, comeback. Yeah, you were trying to do something and you tried to, you actually succeeded. So I think for most people, you probably wouldn't even succeed in the first place. So there's no comeback to be had. That's why I'm saying that's the takeaway, is just having that mentality of everything, and how ridiculously high expectations, like ridiculous high expectations that no one's ever going to live up to, no matter who the hell you are. Maybe like 3 people came close to the highest amount of expectations for any given field or genre. So I don't know. That's kind of the way I think. I'm kind of in an insanity loop, of maybe everything doesn't matter and it doesn't matter what I post online because I'm a good guy and you can take it or leave it. But people will probably rip me off and steal me, stab me in the back, steal anything, take anything from me because they're a bunch of dirty capitalists. And some people are just straight evil. So I'm out. Come back to goodness. That's a comeback of an evil person. Depends on what they did. If they're evil, depends on what they did. But maybe you can come back to goodwill of humanity. This got a little bit too crazy for me. I don't even know.